Kenny Omega has unfinished business in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and is Cody Rhodes WrestleMania confirmed? Yesterday, it was revealed that Scott Hall had been taken off life support after suffering 3 heart attacks on Saturday night. Despite this, his heart would continue to beat for a number of hours. Unfortunately, the reality that fans were dreading came through, as Scott would pass away shortly after the machine was discontinued. Scott made his wrestling debut in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood before breaking out in the AWA, winning their world tag titles with Curt Hennig. He would later wrestle for WWF, winning the Intercontinental Championship 4 times, participating in the groundbreaking ladder match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10. Hall would then change wrestling forever when he walked through the crowd of a WCW Nitro in May 1996, declaring war on the promotion, insinuating that he'd been sent by WWF to seek revenge on billionaire Ted and the Ken doll Eric Bischoff. This would lead to the formation of the Outsiders alongside fellow invader Kevin Nash, before they would align with a heel Hulk Hogan, sending shockwaves through wrestling that are still felt to this day. Scott Hall is a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, having been inducted as a singles competitor in 2014 and as part of the NWO in 2020, emphasizing his impact on the sport. The news of Hall's death would break as last night's episode of Monday Night Raw went on air, with the show featuring several tributes to the bad guy. Raw would open up with a promo from Kevin Owens, who would greet the crowd with a "Hey yo," a phrase made famous by Scott Hall. Owens would once again reference Hall later in the night, telling a demoralized Seth Rollins that tough times don't last, but tough guys do, reminiscent of Scott's 2014 Hall of Fame speech where he said, "Hard work pays off, dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do." The final reference from KO came in the main event of the show, where he took on Seth Rollins at a singles match before driving his opponent through the barricade with a fall-away slam, one of Hall's signature moves. Elsewhere on the show, Damian Priest would battle United States champion Finn Balor, with Priest emulating Razor Ramon's walk before the match. He would once again also use the Razor's Edge, a move he began to use last week. Balor would throw up a 2-sweet during the match, likely to pay tribute to the bad guy. As well as this, during the show, both Rhea Ripley and Seth Rollins would do the infamous Spooky Fingers taunt. The tributes were capped off by a video package honoring Scott Hall's memory and career, ending what has been an emotional few days for wrestling fans. It goes without saying that Scott Hall will be missed, and rest in peace to the bad guy. Last month, Cesaro would leave WWE after his contract expired, making him one of the hottest free agents on the market. Many fans have pointed towards a possible AEW debut for the Swiss Superman, which is now seen as the home for underutilized stars who are popular with the internet community. Well, on his podcast this week, WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair would reveal that he would be interested in managing a heel Cesaro or Claudio Castagnoli in All Elite Wrestling, and revealed how he'd debut him, and he said, "Manage him, I'd love it. Then you work on him with little things that make him nasty. You've never seen him be nasty. You take a guy with his skill and his strength and teach him how to be nasty, just little tricks of the trade, he'd be really hot. If I was managing him, I'd call Tony Khan out to the ring and I'd knock him down from behind and have Cesaro give him a giant swing and put him in a hospital for a month. Or Shivani. I don't mean just Tony Khan, but I mean someone that you can really beat the shit out of and beat the shit out of to make it believable. That would be his first night there. Someone questioning his greatness. Anybody. I think at this point a Ric Flair AEW debut does seem unlikely due to the inevitable backlash that it would receive from fans and ultimately sponsors and networks, but do you think it could happen? And if it did, who would you have him manage? Cesaro, Andrade, or perhaps someone else? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, a former AEW champion is set to return to Lucha Libre AAA. Today, Sammy Guevara would take to Twitter to reveal that he will be appearing on AAA's March 26th show, with him being joined by his real-life girlfriend and fellow AEW wrestler Ty Conti. Sammy is a former AAA World Cruiserweight champion and originally worked for both AEW and AAA before going full-time with the latter. He would lose his Cruiserweight belt in February 2019 to Laredo Kid and made his last appearance for the Mexican promotion in August 2019, 3 months after his AEW debut. This will be Ty Conti's first appearance in AAA, having never worked a match in Mexico before. In fact, this will be her first recorded match outside of the United States. The March 26th show will be part of a television taping and will be held in Tijuana, Mexico. This weekend, AEW's newest signing, Paige VanZant, would speak with ESPN MMA to discuss her transition into professional wrestling. The former UFC fighter has been working with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship since 2020 and revealed that she plans to continue fighting in the sport. Paige would be asked what attracted her to AEW and noted that she's wanted to get into pro wrestling for a while, adding she will be competing in bare knuckle boxing at the same time. And she would say, "Everything about it, you know, my athleticism, I come from a fighting background, I come from combat sports. I also come from a gymnastics background. I feel like there are so many parts of my skill set that I'm not able to utilize in pro fighting. Pro wrestling has been something I've wanted to get into for a very long time, but I've had prior contracts that didn't allow that. Luckily, I'm still a professional bare-knuckle boxer with the BKFC. They couldn't have been more supportive, so they're actually supporting this transition as well. I'll still be doing bare-knuckle boxing with the BKFC and doing AEW. They allowed me to have an open-ended contract where I could go compete and be part of AEW Pro Wrestling." So that was a big push, just having their support throughout the entire thing, and I know that they're going to help build the AEW and vice versa. I think it's going to be a really cool crossover between the two worlds because they are very similar. They are in the combat sports world. So far, VanZant has fought 2 matches in the BKFC in February and July of 2021. She would lose both times by unanimous decision. While she lost, she did manage to avoid a knockout and went the distance on 2 occasions. Interestingly, VanZant recently revealed that she hopes to continue her MMA career at some point, specifically in Bellator. Of course, AEW wrestler Jake Hager also works there, and it'll be interesting to see if Paige will return to MMA whilst working for AEW in the future. Former AEW World Champion Kenny Omega has been away from wrestling for several months, with him currently recovering from a number of lingering injuries from over the years. Omega would make a name for himself in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and this week he revealed that he has some unfinished business in Japan. This week, a fan would tweet Omega telling him that his match with Tetsuya Naito in the G1 Climax 2017 tournament was voted as Naito's best match by NJPW fans. The fan would say, "We are pleased to inform you that NJPW fans have chosen your match as Naito's best match. You deserve it. 5 years have already passed since then, but you are being loved by a lot of people in Japan." Kenny would then respond to the tweet, telling them that he wants to get his win back, and he would say, "I take the utmost pride in being so many athletes' best match. The list is enormous. What matters most to me though is that when we fought in the G1 finals, I lost. I want to defeat him again on a big stage." During the 2017 G1, Omega and Naito would wrestle twice, first in the group stage where Omega won, before they met once again in the final with Naito picking up the all-important victory. The two would meet again in the 2018 G1 group stage with Omega winning again, but that wasn't enough redemption for the G1 final. It'll be interesting to see if the match ever happens, whether it be via the Forbidden Door in New Japan or AEW, or perhaps Kenny could even return to Japan full time. Who knows what the future holds. Last night, WWE Raw was held in Jacksonville, Florida, the home of All Elite Wrestling. The show was rumored to see the WWE return of Cody Rhodes, but the American Nightmare was nowhere to be seen. Despite this, it seems that Cody is still WWE bound. The episode would be based around Seth Rollins trying to secure himself an appearance on WrestleMania, with him taking on his friend Kevin Owens in the Raw main event. If Rollins won, he would replace Owens in his segment with Stone Cold Steve Austin at the Showcase of the Immortals. Unfortunately for Seth, Owens would put him away with a stunner, adding to his misery. Following the match, commentary would make an obvious tease of an impending Cody Rhodes return, making reference to Dashing, Cody's former WWE nickname, as well as his current nickname, the American Nightmare. And there was also seemingly a reference to Cody's dad, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. And Corey Graves would say, "All of Seth Rollins' hopes and WrestleMania dreams were dashed tonight on Monday Night Raw." Jimmy Smith would then add, "The vision has become an absolute nightmare for Seth Rollins, who will be watching the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time from home." Clearly, Rollins will end up on the show, otherwise it wouldn't be a storyline, with his road to WrestleMania being a huge focus of the last 2 episodes of Raw. This story is reminiscent to the John Cena storyline heading into WrestleMania 34, where he sat in the crowd for the show as a fan before having a match with The Undertaker, as it had been reported leading up to the event. This is likely a similar path that Seth Rollins will take, and if reports are to be believed, the plan internally is still for Rollins to face the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, although since he wasn't in Jacksonville, his return looks to have been held off until Mania itself. Dave Meltzer would reiterate the fact that Cody will be making his WWE return on the Wrestling Observer Radio, comparing it to the Hardy Boys' return in 2016 at WrestleMania 33, and he would say, "He's coming, I mean that's it. He's wrestling Seth at WrestleMania unless something changes, and I sure watch this not thinking anything's changed." How they do it? I think they may end up doing the Hardys thing, where, they're coming in but they don't announce it and they get the big pop. They just show up the day of the show. Whilst many feel that the Cody story is somehow a work, it's starting to become pretty clear that he has left AEW in favour of WWE. Ask yourself this, why would WWE internal documents list Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins for WrestleMania to then be leaked by 2 sources to then advance the story in AEW? What's the endgame exactly? Let me know in the comments down below.